Oh, here we are.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hey, we got another cool song that we found. Isn't so much explicits in it, but just come on. We want you guys to listen to a song we thought was pretty neat. Come on to say we do not own the rights to this song or the music. So Facebook and YouTube won't get all jerked off. So enjoy the song. Thank you.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These days you can't get a man to work. People getting married and they still flirt. Don't pledge allegiance to our flag like we used to do. Good men are willing to give their lives while politicians take away our rights, saying they know best what's good for you. These days dads are always gone. Mama's still here, but she's on her phone. Grandma's raising the kids, and the devil is too. If you ask me, this whole world has gone to hell. I speak the truth, but these days the truth won't sell. I bleed red, white, and blue in my ways you just can't change. Wrong or right, I give my life for this place called USA. There's no other place that I'd rather live. Love my wife and teach my kids about the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm sick and tired of people putting it down. If you don't like it here, get the heck out of town. Go and find somewhere you love, that's fine with me. 'Cause we don't need people riding the fence. You're either riding with us or you're riding with them. Make up your mind which side you stand. If you ask me, this whole world is gone to hell. I speak the truth, but these days the truth won't sell. I bleed red, white, and blue in my ways you just can't change. Wrong or right, I give my life for this place called USA. Cause of the brave. Wrong or right, they gave their lives for this place called USA. If you ask me, this whole world has gone to hell. I speak the truth, but these days the truth won't sell. I bleed red, white, and blue in my ways you just longer ride I give my life. This place called USA. The longer ride I give my life. This place called USA.
C&D presents the No BS Show. With your hosts, Chris Mize and Doug Dock. It's the No BS Show. Take it away, guys.
Hey there.
Thought you guys might like that song. First off, I want to thank all our veterans, all our military serving the same overseas. Joe Biden in it, Doug. I want to thank all our veterans. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. All our military serving overseas in the homeland. Our first responders, police, fire, EMS, doctors, nurses, and tow truck drivers. Thought you guys might like that song. We get kind of hesitant. I should say the guy over there gets hesitant because we got to come on and say we don't own the rights to the music or the song or anything like that. But, you know, with all the censorship, except for one that we're on tonight, Doug. You know,
Right.
they might yank it down, whatever. But it's a good song. If you didn't hear it, you come on. Make sure you go back and listen. Creed Fisher, wasn't it?
Yes. Creed.
Creed Fisher. He's got a couple songs out. Go look it up. Listen to the words. Doug, he says it all without like Kid Rock says it too, but every other word, you know. But you know, and as I find songs, because I look for songs and stuff that have meaning, and as I find songs like that, I send it over to Doug. And Doug, you know what that's telling me is basically when these musicians start putting songs together, making songs like this, the redneck generation and the blue collar generation and the generation that pretty much makes up a majority of this country is getting fed up. And, you know, like he says, he likes to tell the truth, but the truth don't sell. That's a big statement. If you're out there, you know, think about what that statement is. You know, the mainstream media is selling us lies, but they won't sell us the truth. They won't tell us the truth. So hope you enjoyed it. We're going to not do it every week, but as songs come up, we might even start 5 minutes early, you know, 6:55, try to or not, whatever. We'll put songs out there we kind of like and think you might enjoy. If you don't like it, you guys throughout the night, you ain't going to hurt our feelings because we don't have feelings. You don't want to hear that or song, just let us know, you know, and we won't do that. But we thought you get sick of hearing Let's Go Brandon's song and the other stuff. So what we got on tap tonight? We're on Twitter tonight, right?
Yes. Welcome, Twitter followers. We know that we got a better shot of keeping stuff up there.
Yeah. We got a better shot at keeping things up with Elon Musk. What's the first thing he said when he bought Twitter, Doug? Trump's back.
Yeah, Trump will be back.
And you can say what you say without being censored.
Right. Hopefully we won't get censored, but happy Mother's Day. We got a song at the end of the show for all moms.
All moms. Happy Mother's Day to all you ladies out there. My wife, my mom, my daughter-in-law. Happy Mother's Day. Hope you guys had a good day. So
Now,
hope you got the house all cleaned up last night and everything ready so you didn't have to. I put a post up, man. I got nailed on it. It was a joke.
holy cow.
It's Mother's Day tomorrow, so make sure you got the house all cleaned up tonight.
And dinner cooked so you don't have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, but it was a joke.
So, it was a joke.
So what do you want to dive into first?
Well, let's watch this and see if we can make any sense out of this.
I doubt it.
I think his first stumble, you're going to be able to figure out what word he's trying to say. All right? We'll play a game.
Play trivia like I'm doing in the chat rooms?
Right, yeah. Okay.
What's he trying to say?
Here we go.
This is the first time the president attended this dinner in 6 years. It's understandable. We had a horrible plague, followed by 2 years of COVID. I'm really excited to be here tonight with the only group of Americans with a lower approval rating than I have. But Republicans seem to support one fella, some guy named Brandon. He's having a really good year, and I'm kind of happy for him. I know there are questions about whether we should gather here tonight because of COVID. Well, we're here to show the country that we're getting through this pandemic. Plus, everyone had to prove they were fully vaccinated and boosted. So if you're at home watching this and you're wondering how to do that, just contact your favorite Fox News reporter. They're all here, vaccinated and boosted, all of them. I'm not really here to roast the GOP. That's not my style. Besides, there's nothing I can say about the GOP that Kevin McCarthy hasn't already put on tape.
He just feeling the fire.
Yeah, I'm going to go into this next one so you can.
He's just feeling the fire. You know, here's the thing, real quick. Well, he made it so they had to be vaccinated and boosted in order to get into the White House to ask him questions.
Right. Right.
Oh, stupid ass.
All right. Here, his brain breaks in the middle of what he was trying to say. Mine's starting to do that now.
Yeah, me.
Do you have a
me
bird?
Too. I've got the door open. Birds are chirping, everything chirping, everything. See, I got the Joe Biden effect has taken over on all of us.
All right,
I got, but yeah, the mule's out there chirping.
Watch this and see if you can figure it out.
That will enhance our underlying effort to accommodate the Russian oligarchs and make sure we take their ill-begotten gains. We're going to accommodate them. We're going to seize their yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Kleptocracy, and the guys who are the kleptocracies. But these are bad guys.
Well, it's happened again. Joe Biden has suffered yet another blunder while giving a speech. This one, probably one of his worst. He was announcing a new $33 billion spending package to provide aid to Ukraine when he was also attempting to condemn Russia for its attack on the country. The president stumbled over his words as he vowed to seize Russian oligarchs' assets before laughing and calling Putin's army bad guys. As per usual, the mumbling moment had social media users talking. One person wrote, "Cringeworthy Biden, so embarrassing watching this," and he chuckles. "Nothing funny here, Joe." Another said, "The President of the United States clearly is suffering from advanced cognitive decline, and the mainstream news media that carries water for the Dems remains as silent as a cemetery on a moonless midnight." And just wow, he shouldn't be on the world stage representing the nation. Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton simply wrote, "Alarming." Congressman Ronnie Jackson said, "What is Biden talking about here? He's totally lost. His cognitive decline is so obvious and America is suffering because of it. This is an embarrassment." Former White House Deputy Chief of Staff Karl Rove told Fox News that these gaffes are not helpful when the US needs to be showing strength in the face of Russia.
We watched that last week.
Do we?
I'm glad you showed it again because I was on a kick. How can he seize last week? Remember, I was on a kick.
Yeah.
How can he seize Putin's yacht? Unless it's in the United States or in the United States water, maybe.
Italy did that.
Italy did it? Was it in their
Italy's the
water?
one. Yeah. So they got it.
But Putin didn't do it. Why is he saying? I mean, Biden didn't do it. Why is he saying that? You know, here's the other thing. That laugh he has is alarming. Just the laugh is scary.
Yeah.
The laugh, you know, he never used to do that before, Doug. You catch us? When he would start stumbling at, he'd just, now he just starts laughing with that shit fucking grin that I want to reach through the screen and just smack the living piss out of him. But that laugh is scary because it's almost like he's acknowledging that he's
like, oh, you guys caught me again.
You caught me again. I fucked up again. They're bad guys. That's what I meant to say in bigger words. They're bad guys. We already know that, you dumbass. You know.
Well, you know, we sent all this stuff over to Ukraine to help them. I'm not so sure that's where he intended it to go. Well,
no, because he said another country.
Well, yeah, watch this one.
To the US, where Joe Biden has explained what his administration did to prepare Ukraine before Russia attacked. It involves javelins and arming Russia.
Before Russia attacked, we made sure Russia had javelins and other weapons to strengthen the defenses so Ukraine was ready for whatever happened.
What, Joe? Let's just go through what he said there, word for word, and you tell me if you can understand what in God's name the president is trying to say here. He said, before Russia attacked, we made sure Russia had javelins and other weapons to strengthen the defenses so Ukraine was ready for whatever happened. What? I'm completely lost, and I'm going to be delving into an extended version of Biden's latest bizarre outburst tomorrow night on the Rita Panahi Show at 9 p.m.
How can he make? And then there's another one out there where he says Romania, I think, or one of the Yugoslavia or something. We sent all the money or something. We sent Yugoslavia or Romania, excellent. And I'm thinking, you don't even know where the fuck we're sending shit.
Right.
You know, we know. Listen, it's a sad day in the United States of America when I can probably talk more clearly than that bastard, Doug.
Yeah, it is a very sad day.
It's a sad day when I can talk more clearly than him. You know, I mean, he did. That teleprompter's got big words up there that evidently this son of a bitch ain't ever said before. Huh? But he goes off stage. I couldn't. You get that 10-year-old out from that spelling bee to explain this to me and spell it? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? You never know. You know, we were getting oil from him. You know. What's up, Dean Henry? Big D's Pizza. Clyde.
Hashtag No Bull Show.
Hashtag No Bull Show.
You remind us of our hashtag.
But it's a sad day. It's a sad day when I can probably talk more clear than Joe Biden.
It is.
And I'm not trying to be funny on myself. It's just, and every day that he comes on and talks,
there's something.
He gives us something new.
Yeah. And now they cut his feed. He was doing something, and they didn't have a teleprompter or something. I forget what was going on, but he started going off onto something else, and they cut the feed. It was like the White House feed that they send to all the news places. They just cut it because he was saying stuff that just nobody understood what he was talking about.
That's bad.
So they're trying to keep you and I from knowing, the president is having an issue.
But the thing of it is if this was Trump, our mainstream media would be running it.
Oh yeah.
I actually do. I communicate very well.
So
just on my language. You know, I can't stand it. Let's get into that first. I can't stand it. You know, that's one thing I kind of did like about Trump. When he talked to the American public, he talked on our level. You know what I'm saying?
No teleprompter for a long time.
No, but he talked in our language. He didn't use these big words and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? He didn't use all what they're trying to put into that teleprompter and shit. You know, he talked to us like we'd be talking on here. You know, and I watched the deal the other day when him and Nancy got into it in the Oval Office. Him, Schumer, and Nancy. Oh my God, it was hilarious. You know, it was hilarious.
We could do hundreds of shows on his gaffes, but
yeah, but it's we just pick one out of the 20 per week, and
so yeah. So let's move on from him. He'll keep us in content forever. Let's talk about the fact that you're not happy with the primary.
No.
What happened?
Listen, you know, unless I'm wrong, the way I see it. In years past, when you went in, you were a registered Democrat or you were a registered Republican. And when you walked in, you signed in, you were given a full Democrat side or a full Republican ticket, right?
Back in the day, yes.
They were walking in, whether you're Democrat or Republican, which side are you voting for? Which side? You could be a registered Democrat, walk up and get a Republican ticket and vote Republican. That ain't. When did that change? Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. Anybody out there help me? But you know, this is one thing that Joe Blystone is livid about. Because he had all the rhinos, you know, vote all the Democrats, grabbed one and voted for the rhino that we got. You know,
no, he didn't do too bad. They threw that guy in at the end.
Renacci,
yeah.
The GOP, in my opinion, just so anybody out there that's watching, snaking in, hiding behind the little walls there of Facebook and YouTube, like the guy that called us white supremacists and say that we're completely a Republican show, you're wrong. Because the GOP in Ohio, in my opinion, I'm sure somebody will disagree with me, but snaked Renacci in, jammed a bunch of money in for campaign ads on TV, Doug, and started bombarding Renacci's name out there. And all that did, in my opinion, is took votes from Blystone. They knew what they were doing.
All right.
Because you didn't hear about Renacci till what? 3-4 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, boom. You know, you're right, Cal, and that's what my opinion is, you know, my opinion is about 4 weeks ago, and then about, what, Doug, 2.5 weeks ago, didn't I bring this up to you? You see what they're doing with Renacci?
Yeah, right. You brought it up on here.
I says, you know, it's all you hear is commercials on the radio, commercials on TV, Renacci. All they're doing is splitting, they're taking votes from Blystone, and they did what they wanted. The GOP did what they wanted in Ohio. You know, poor Mark Nikita didn't have a shot in hell because the GOP didn't want him in there, and they made sure. You know, we just pray to God Vance does a good job, beats the left side, and, you know, does a good job for us, the people, we the people, you know. But, you know, the sad part of this is, without getting into too much detail, Doug, we got Telegram Telegraph is Telegraph, right? Telegram.
Telegram.
Telegram. It's a chat room network that's not censored, or it's more private than Facebook's ever thought of being. You know, we got invited into this other room through some political party members, not to be named, but because of fear that they couldn't talk and discuss what they're showing, what they're saying in this Telegram, without that being censored, shut down. We couldn't do that in the Facebook chats. There's no way in hell we could be able to do that. They would shut it down. That'd been the end of it. And it's nothing. It's no conspiracies and no bullshit like that. It's just general information that's being put out and different stuff. And that's a sad day, Doug, when you got to go to something like that because of censorship.
Right. So it's not over. Well, it is over as
It's
any
over.
other election, but it's not over for them guys. They're going to try to fight this.
They're going to fight a lot of shit, and God bless them. I believe in what they're fighting for. And will they overturn anything or anything? No, Doug, that ain't going to happen. But will they get their shit together? What I see, yes. Will they start making an impact with coming out with information? Absolutely, in my mind. And it's shit that needs to come out. But, that's not for me or you to discuss in a room that, we're invited to. And that's for the people that are running that to do that at their time and point. But, there's a lot of shady shit going on with this, as always. By doing that, all they did was let the Democrats vote for the rhino that they love anyways, a guy that our governor we have that is registered Republican a bit more. If you go back and look in time, he was registered Democrat at one time, and switched over. And then they put Renacci up there, and it split the vote. Joe Blystone, in my opinion, would have made a great governor. A great governor. And it's time we start getting people that ain't career politicians in there like that. It's, huh?
Yeah, you're right. That's what we need. All of them gone.
Yeah, all of them gone. I mean, what's DeWine? How long's he been in office of some kind? The governor, the attorney general, the lieutenant governor, you go back 25, 30 years and find his political career up too. Josh Mandel's been involved in political, politics one way or the other since he come out of the service.
Right.
And a bunch of these people have, I firmly believe, I had this argument in my garage, I believe yesterday with my dad. He got very upset with me because I told him he was a closet Trump supporter. And the more he kept talking, I'm saying, Biden did that. Trump wanted to stop that. And finally, they left. They left. But
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, I believe it should be 8 years. 8 years. 8 years for Congress, Senate, or whatever. 2 terms for Senate and Congress for federal. And the same thing with state legislators. Same thing with the governor, 2 terms. Same thing, it's same with the president, 2 terms.
Right.
2 terms was put in on the president because of why? They said they didn't want one person to hold so much power for too long. Am I correct? That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yep.
Well, the dumb son of bitches that did that doesn't realize Senate and Congress hold more power than the president if you really want to get down to it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're the ones that make the laws. President can veto it. It can go back, get overruled anyways. So they got more power. So why aren't we doing that to the Senate and Congress? It needs done. Washington needs an enema. Big enema.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Mike. He started talking and I'm laughing. Well, that was That's Trump wanted to stop that. Well, that was, and I see, you're a closet Trump supporter and don't. I might as well hit my dad is when I told him he was a closet Trump supporter.
Now, did you have any thoughts on the leaked abortion bill or opinion?
Yeah, I got opinions. They're not going to be popular ones.
No, we're not going to debate the bill, the leak of the bill.
I think they need to find out who leaked that out, and they need to be, my opinion, prosecuted. That's a bill. That's a thing being seen by the Supreme Court. Going up to the Supreme Court.
And they're narrowing it down. They know it was a.
So if that's leaked out, how much other shit is leaked out that the Supreme Court was going to hear?
Right. That got back to the White House or Congress or people.
So where the chirping started going on.
Yeah. And then they can make laws and do things that they want. Right.
And so right now is the perfect time to make an example, Doug. Oh, I hope you're doing okay, Lord. Don't know what surgery it was, but I hope everything's good. Or if you're having surgery, she have surgery? I had surgery.
Yeah.
I hope everything's okay. But right now, you should make an example. Set precedents, Doug. When they find that person, they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. Period. End of discussion. Done. And that might stop some of that shit. Money talks. Money talks.
So you think
that person didn't leak that? That person didn't leak information
just because they wanted to.
Magnitude. I mean, come on.
I agree.
There's some money exchanged somewhere down the line for that information. Trust me. But that what is going in front of the Supreme Court with the leaked information. I got my opinions on what they're about to do, and it won't be popular, but Well, see, and there's okay here. Let's go with this, Doug. It's a state by state issue, okay, not a federal.
Is what this opinion's going to bring out.
It's a state by state. I don't think federal should overturn anything. I think the federal, the Roe versus Wade, I think federal should just sit there and shut the fuck up unless a state and them have to go in front of them. I don't think
and they did.
Ooh.
They
took
when
Texas.
Roe versus Wade went to the Supreme Court, that's what happened. That's where Roe versus Wade came from.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is who took it to this point now to go back into the Supreme Court? It had to be a state take it.
I don't know. Do they review laws every?
I don't know. I thought there was some people taking it because of the Texas abortion law. And if that's the case, then they got to review it. But I can tell you this. We're treading on some dangerous ground here.
And on Mother's Day is probably not the greatest day.
Right. There's instances, I can't believe I'm going to say it. I don't believe in abortion one bit. I think it's murder. I think you shouldn't. I don't care. It's murder. Okay, it's legalized murder, in my opinion. But there's some circumstances where it may be needed. All right. And I understand that part of it, but it's a real slippery slope here, Doug. And we just come through this whole thing and still in it with the division of black and whites and racial discrimination, racism, and we're going to go full blown into this. And the Supreme Court's already leaking information out. It's just a bad situation. It's a bad storm coming. I'm telling you. You know, and the problem is with this, Tammy. Here's where I'm saying this is a bad thing. Because if it's overturned, not overturned, this, that, or the other, wording can go in through this. The wording can go in where completely off limits all the way around, where in them circumstances that it might be warranted will no longer be allowed. You know what I'm saying, Doug?
Right. Yeah.
It'll no longer be allowed.
It could be all or nothing.
You know, we shouldn't talk about this on Mother's Day, but for a young couple to go out, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing in the backseat of that car. You know what you're doing sneaking into your mom and dad's basement, whatever. You know what you're doing. And in today's world, there's no reason you should get pregnant when you don't want to, Doug. Period. You know what I mean? So if you play and you get pregnant, you know, take your responsibility. I believe, you know, you shouldn't just be able to go, oh, I don't want it. I mean, you have some women that have had 8 to 12 abortions, Doug. You have people out there that can't have kids that will gladly take care of that kid. You know what I'm saying? Adoption agencies all over and everything. And don't tell me, well, it's costs a lot of money. Catholic Charities, different adoption organizations. It don't. It doesn't. And we're on a real slippery ground here. And when you start overturning stuff, it could lead to wording you don't want. And then, you know, you might say, well, yeah, I don't believe in abortion and it should be this way. And then as the wording comes out after it's changed and everything, you're going to sit there and say, well, I don't like how they worded that. Just like the gun law in Ohio. I know it's apples and oranges. Don't get all, how can you compare guns to abortion? The wording come out, I believe, in open carry, like what we're about to go to June 13th. But I don't believe in some of the wording in it. I believe you should have to notify a cop. It's going to be the same thing, only on a worse level, Doug, because now you're dealing with human life. And as far as I'm concerned, once that baby's conceived, you know, and starts the next whatever forming, that's human life. Diesel Pete's, man. New York has it, up to the week before you can deliver, you can have an abortion. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
You know, now we have heartbeat bills in Ohio where if there's a heartbeat, you're not allowed and all that. You know, I'm not reading the comments. They must be pretty good, huh? Yeah. You know, I watched how I worded that, Mike, because actually, when I started talking to say that part of it, when you went in your mom and dad's basement and everything, I looked up and seen your name. Yeah, and Mike did. You know, Mike's case but he took on the responsibility. Listen, he took on the responsibility. I remember it. I was around it, and him, and you know, his kid's mom took the responsibility on. Did the right thing, raised them kids. You know what I'm saying, Doug? Mm-hmm. And that's what you're supposed to do. Once again, we give too many outs. We have too many outs for responsibility nowadays. And I will sit back and watch, see what happens with this, you know. But I one way or the other, it's going to be a bad outcome. You're going to see protests.
Yeah, and they're protesting at the Supreme Court justices' houses, and the government's trying an intimidation act, but it's not going to work.
Intimidation act how?
Well,
I'm gonna tell you, I voiced my opinion when they went and protested in front of Amy Acton's house and Mike DeWine's house, personal houses. I feel it's wrong.
I agree with that.
I feel it's wrong. You want to protest, that's fine. You protest where it is.
Right.
You don't protest at their personal house. You got neighbors that have no involvement in this. You know,
right, and their
that's
families.
Right.
Their families didn't sit there and have a discussion and go, well, this is what we think you should vote.
Oh, Dad, this is the way I think you should go. You know.
You
But
know,
see, the same people that do that, Doug, if you went and did that in front of their house, that's first. This is my personal property and this is my house. Why are you, my family has nothing? And I'm telling you, before you do something stupid like that, you need to think about it. You know, I disagree with you doing that.
Yeah, and Mark was telling me a story last year about somebody that was caught on video doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and it started a firestorm, and then they were in front of this person's house protesting and all this, calling names, and he ended up, I think, moving, didn't he, Mark? Took off, went someplace else to live because he couldn't.
Oh yeah, right. I remember that.
So, let's move on to a better subject. Do you remember the scandal that came up right around COVID time with the Utilities Commission?
Yeah.
And
Davis, Bessie, Ohio Edison, First Energy, the First Energy.
And Larry Householder?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember DeWine's comments on it?
No, but I remember him trying to drag DJ Swearingen in on that, and he wasn't even in office when it went on. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Democratic Party, give them props here, they filed a lawsuit Thursday against DeWine alleging, first of all, that he would not comply with the open records request. And what they wanted was his schedule from 2019 on.
Whose schedule, DeWine's?
Yeah. Well, what happened was they updated this. I think it was last night. I worked on this like yesterday or Friday night, and then yesterday I think I re-looked at it. He did give him. They did give him the records that they wanted. However, it is heavily redacted.
It's not supposed to be.
Correct. You're right. And it's heavily redacted. And so they do see one place where he did meet with somebody that was part of that whole deal. And it was a couple months. Yeah. A couple months later, he signed that $2 million deal. The Clean Air Act program.
Yeah.
And then what he did is he repealed it in March of 2021 after Householder's arrest for his alleged involvement in the bribery scandal in 2020.
Uh-oh.
So
now he gave him documents that things have been edited out.
Right.
That he can't do that.
Right. So now they've went back to this lawsuit, and they want to continue with it because now the stuff they're getting is redacted.
And they should go right to the Ohio Supreme Court.
Yes.
And demand it. And
yes.
I mean, he was an attorney general. He knows better than this.
Well, yeah, he knows better, but I'm sure his people are trying to protect him and redact that.
So what's that going to tell you? He was right in bed with it.
Yes.
I can only hope that doesn't all come out. I mean, here's the problem I got. So let's just say in the next month or so it comes out, and he's going to be. We just screwed Joe Blystone even harder.
Right.
Does he get to move up as the Republican Party's governor candidate?
Well, if nothing happens between now and the election, obviously he's going to get in there, and then he's going to get whatever they call it.
He'll get
impeached, and then
impeached out. But the problem is, then the GOP gets
right.
to put in.
Well, doesn't the
Lieutenant governor
moves up, and then somebody's appointed to that, I think.
If somebody will be appointed in as lieutenant governor.
So yeah,
but I always say his name wrong. Hosted, lieutenant governor. Hosted.
Houston.
Houston.
Houston. I think
If DeWine's involved in this as governor, they're going to take him down too.
I would say.
So. Well, I don't think he had. I don't know. Maybe you're right if you look that up. But honestly, I think that the next person in line, the second vote, should move up and run in November.
Now,
I don't know how that works.
DeWine's office is saying that the Democratic Party has a history of mischaracterizing the open public records request. Governor DeWine is one of the most transparent public officials, and no governor has ever been more accessible to the media than Mike DeWine. And if the Ohio Democratic Party wants to argue otherwise, good luck to them, because they are dead wrong.
Who wrote that? Is press release guy?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but they're full of shit. It's simple. If you had to turn these documents over, you're not allowed to edit what you want out of them documents. Now, what are we, stupid here? It'd be like me getting indicted or subpoenaed for Jim Bob, texting back and forth or letters back and forth, and I go to the Erie County prosecutor because that stuff's subpoenaed and I got to bring it there. Well, page 3 and 4 I didn't have in there. I don't feel you need to see that. What would happen to me? You know what would happen to? Oh, you're in contempt of court, Mr. Mize. The Erie County Hilton's got a room for you. You know what I'm saying? But then I'd be held in contempt of court. Now, if the court ordered him to turn them documents over, and he doesn't turn them all over,
and he did eventually. He did do that.
Yeah, but he didn't turn it all over because he edited parts out. Therefore, he's in contempt of court.
Now they're redacted, and I don't know.
Holy crap! He wrote a book. Yeah, I can't read it, but I'll read it after the show. Yeah, I'll read it after the show. But the thing of it is if Mike DeWine edited things out that he was supposed to turn over, he's in contempt of court, Doug. Clear and simple. When he was an attorney general, he'd have put you in contempt of court.
Yes, yes, he
would. We knew what an asshole he was when he was an attorney general. I mean, there's few of us experienced it firsthand. And what about the Jake Limberos case?
Which one?
They blew. Jake Limberos over by Oak Harbor.
Yeah, they're like up in that area. There's probably 4 or 5 of them that are really botched up bad. There's a couple down
the
here.
Old sheriff of Sandusky County.
Yeah.
Overmeyer. I mean,
yeah.
Overmeyer. That was all under Mike DeWine, remember?
Yes.
That was all under Mike DeWine. I mean, remember the free Jake? Hell, that went all the way up to Dr. Phil, remember?
Right, yeah.
DeWine and them would not answer Dr. Phil. Remember that?
Right, yeah.
So he's crooked. He's crooked. He knows, though, he can't, under a court order, if he's supposed to give documents over, he can't edit shit out that he wants edited out in them documents.
So
let's see where it goes.
If you're a Democrat here, this is the thinking from the Democrats. So Ohioans are looking for justice, and we'll work to get it for them however we can. We're also offering a better way forward, cleaning up corruption and putting working families first.
The motherfuckers are the worst corrupt bunch.
Yeah, but if they can,
you want to
take him
start
out,
cleaning corruption up? Go up to goddamn Washington D.C. and that whole
start
bunch.
there. Start at the
Yeah,
very top.
whoa! We're talking about the state of Ohio, not Washington D.C., Mr. Mice. Slow down, cowboy.
But I applaud them for doing this if they really think they've got a case.
You know, listen, I do too. I do too, but it's more. It's not for what's right and wrong. It's more for political gain.
It is,
and that's
I'm
whatever. But
honestly thinking that if they do that, it's going to help Republicans more so.
Yeah, because in turn, the right Republicans should get in the run. No, I don't think so. I can tell you that right now. I mean, you're telling me Joe Biden has more in common with us? Is that what this guy's saying?
I don't know.
I'm not quite sure what you're saying. A career Republican right now, I'm pretty sure Jim Jordan, Ted Cruz are fighting for every right we got. I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, who's been a career politician on the Democratic side, you can't just sit there. I'm going to agree with you on one half of this, Mike. I'm going to call you Mike. I'm going to agree on one half of this. You can't just sit there and say a career Republican. You know, a career Republican, a career politician, period. And if you watch from the beginning of the show, one of the first things I said, Doug, was I firmly believe that we should have term limits of 2 terms, and that's it. Just like the president, all the way through the House, Congress, the Congress, Senate, all the way down into each state. It should be term limits. 2 elections, you're gone. Because of what he's saying. I agree with him up to, it's not just one party, it's both parties. Both parties. When you're in the Congress for 40 years, it don't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, you're fucking corrupted one way or another. You're bought out one way or another.
Well, you got a good point. I think age limit too.
Well, I agree and disagree. I think you should have to take that test that Biden's avoiding.
Yeah, but when he came in, let's say not when he came in, let's say even before he was campaigning, when he was vice president, he was all right. He didn't stumble and mumble like he did.
Like
let's
he
say
does now.
Yeah, but let's say he went into office after that. You're going to decline.
And he brings up a good point here, but it don't matter. I think it should be law that anytime you're over the age 60, 65, or whatever, and you go into a major office, Congress and Senate's major offices, or president, vice president, I believe every 2 years you should have to take that test.
Cognitive test.
The cognitive test. I believe that. And every president, let's stop and look at, I know we're getting way off base here, Doug, where you want to go, but you had a good point there. Every president up to Biden has taken that test, Doug. I mean, the one I thought would lose it would fail it was George W. Bush, but he passed it. Let's be honest here. But everybody's passed it and took it. Didn't hesitate. Donald Trump took it. Why isn't Joe Biden? Why is his staff not refusing? I tell you who he needs it even worse than Joe Biden. Biden's Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Now you know where Joe Biden's at. Jill is at today.
No.
Ukraine.
Now she's over there.
She is over there. And
drinking Russian vodka with Nancy?
No, it doesn't look like it's a meeting that's going well. I went over and got a picture of them. Look at the I don't know what they call her. In the article they call her president. It's the president's wife.
First lady. That's what.
Does she look like she's even paying attention to Jill Biden?
No, she's laughing at her. You know, Jill just said my husband's so stupid. She's got to look at that woman's laughing, going, "You're right. We're going to get more out of you than we would Joe." You know.
So we've had 2 ladies and 2 wieners over there, and no president. Nobody with any kind of decision-making skills.
Well, and that's the problem. You're not, you know. Let's. Oh, I just got a question. Say you guys get the boot.
Who did?
Joe Givens. You guys, if you can hear us, let us know. Joe must get booted. But so here's the thing. I know they can hear us because they're commenting on what we're talking about. That Michael Fernstein, I guess. Fernstein. You have good points. I'm glad you brought them up because you're right on one side. You're right. 100% right of term limits should be set, period, all the way through to your local legislation. Term limits should be set 2 terms. That's it. You're out. It keeps things fresh and nobody's bought out. 2, that test should be given to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Nancy Pelosi. They should all 3 have to take that test. Now, the next set, let's say in 24, different bunch comes in, there's a different speaker. They should have to take that test. And why I say the Speaker of the House, Doug, is because something happens the other 2, she's moving up or he's moving up. They should have to take that test. Next person that comes in, Speaker of the House, should have to take. When you push that off and don't take it, it looks even worse. And if they don't pass it, and they're showed to be incompetent, they shouldn't be in office, removed from office. That should be a law. You want to make good laws that make sense? There's a good law, Congress and Senate. That's a law that should make sense. But there's nobody in Congress and nobody in Senate that will even think about voting for it because 3/4 of your people in Congress and Senate have been in for 20, 30 years. Yeah, she does. You know.
Drug testing, yeah. I think they do.
And I agree with that. I don't know. They sure don't get breathalyzers when they go in. You know? I mean, you know, oh no, that'd be a good polygraph. I'd love to see that.
Always.
But I appreciate, Mike, your comments, Michael. It brought us off our Doug's agenda, and he's OCD.
No,
that's why
I'm okay with it. I know we got stuff to give away here in 2 minutes.
So, all right.
Hashtag is No Bull Show.
No Bull Show. Hashtag No Bull Show. Dean Henry, Big D's Pizza. Listen, we talk about him all the time.
Sometimes it's good.
I tell you what, Mark had a picture of a pizza up the other day.
Oh yeah, I don't have that. I have other things. Oh my
God, was it good?
Those look good. Hashtags No Bull Show.
Here's some of the food products that Big D's Pizza in Clyde, Ohio puts out. I'm going to tell you what. If you're driving through there, I go on my little 2-minute. That's what oh my God.
That's a BLT sub.
Yeah, I know. And it's just making me hungry, and I'm not. But look at the ribs. Dean sent me a picture of ribs the other day. Just, oh my God, there was like 10 racks of ribs. Oh, I'm not a rib guy, but I wanted them.
Yeah.
So we'll give away large pizza tonight. Pep's brought up. I'll tell you what we're going to do.
What are we going to do?
This is what we're going to do. We rained out at Sandusky Speedway this weekend. I know everybody goes, oh, yesterday's beautiful. And we showed pictures on our live yesterday where you could have ran some boat races out around the track. But we took the features that we're going to run this past weekend. Modifieds won't be running this weekend. We're running double features with Pure Stocks and the Renegades and then a full night show. We will give away 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, and 2 Pepsi products tonight, too. So we'll draw 2 things tonight.
That's kind of a late comment.
Huh?
kind of a late comment.
Well, how are they getting away? What, with all that food, Tammy? They go in and buy it. How are they getting away with it all? We don't know that yet. You're talking about tests, I'm going to assume, Doug. She's talking about the tests that they refute. We don't know. Because here's how I think, okay? Personally, here's how I think. Is we had the pandemic. Biden takes office. We're fighting a pandemic. Oh, my God, the number, and then when the question, you go back in the timeline, just like everything else with this administration. When it started being questioned, we were looking at Article 25. Congress had brought up Article 25 on Kamala Harris. Remember that situation? Yeah. And then, boom, COVID went nuts. Remember? November, then COVID went crazy. We were getting 20,000, 25,000 in Ohio, cases a day and this and that. It went away. That test went away. And then, as we come out and numbers started, now you don't even see a number. We don't have a COVID issue. Isn't that funny? I mean, seriously, if you guys think about this, when's the last time you've seen a number of daily positive tests? I haven't seen one in months. It's not even an issue right now, okay? So, boom, because the Ukraine war is going on.
Yeah, there's that. What else is going on that's drawing attention?
We got Russia making comments about nuclear weapons. We got, Chinese pissed off the world. And this is something I said to my dad, and you guys stop and think about this. Well, the Chinese got to be the China. I says, something? Your generation, when I was growing up, jammed it down our throat. Don't you buy Japanese stuff. Don't you buy anything Japanese. Cars, this, that. We were so infatuated, Doug, with not buying anything and letting the Japanese into this country, not even realize the Japanese weren't trying to take over our country, Doug. They weren't trying to take us over.
Right.
That we watched that so hard, we let China come right through the back door and wham! One day woke up and said, well, I guess Japan isn't too bad. We should have been watching the Chinese. Now here we are. Once again, I drive through car lots again this morning before I went to breakfast. There's no new cars out there because we ain't got chips that we were promised. If you can remember, Doug, we were promised chips for the vehicles, the computer chips, by this administration by November. Before Thanksgiving, we were promised we'd be making chips and everything would be fine.
You didn't watch the Hammer Down Racing Report, did you?
Yeah, some of it we didn't get in. I know.
He did some investigative reporting, and Bearfield Racetrack,
Bearfield Speedway turned into
completely. It's a parking lot. There are cars all over the track, all over the the outfield or the pits. There's got to be over 1,000 cars.
This winter, hey, take a look. This winter, where Avon has the minor league baseball team, Cal, Greg, I know some of you guys seen it. It was full of the trucks, truck chassis, heavy duty trucks coming out of Avon Ford plant, just sitting there. Kentucky Speedway. Look at the pictures we seen last winter and that with that. We were promised that we'd be making our own chips.
The plant hasn't been built yet.
Right. So here's what it's done, in case anybody went to buy a car. People that bought trucks, like let's say in 2019, 20, let's say you bought a truck, an F-150, four-door loaded, and you spent $55,000 on it. And now you got 30,000 miles on it. They're giving you $57,000 for it now. They're giving people more than what they bought it for after they drove it, and turn around and selling it for another $5,000-6,000 more at the lot. So what they've done, you can't even go in and buy and look for right now in today's world a good used car without paying $10,000 more than what you were going to pay on it 2 years ago. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right. Nobody's talking about that though, Greg. They scrapped not all of them, Greg, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you probably know. I think at one time they had 8,000 trucks, 8 to 12,000 trucks sitting on the property. They had to scrap over 80% of them trucks because of rodent damage, mice and all that getting in, chewing wires up and everything else. Do you see where this is going, people? This administration wants all electric.
Yes, Ohio's going to do that too. All their vehicles are going to go electric.
Ohio,
All right,
when they do that.
Next year.
It's going to be every state vehicle is going to be electric.
Yep.
I want to see that electric excavator out there digging.
All right.
I'm serious. All right, this for Big D's Pizza, Pepsi product, hashtag No Bull Show.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go.
All righty. Greg
Miller. There you go, Greg.
You're our winner.
Congratulations. Get a hold of Dean Henry, Big D's Facebook page, 2 weeks. And 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 Pepsi products, Saturday night, May 14th.
Okay.
Sandusky Speedway.
Okay. To the fire department from Greg Miller.
Greg Miller. Greg can't win twice.
Lori.
Get a hold of me or Doug. Afterwards, we'll get you set up.
Yeah.
Saturday night. Racing starts at 7. I can tell you when it is. And Ford never filed for that, to be honest with you. In 2007, 8, 9, all that shit hit. GM was actually the one that filed for bankruptcy. The government, us, the taxpayers, bailed General Motors out. Ford never got to that point. I believe Ford never took bailout money. And Dodge, Chrysler, Daimler was bought out by Fiat of Italy. Remember that?
Yep.
Fiat bought. So GM was the one. Now, let me put my little dig in before we move on. General Motors is the one that took all the tax money for a bailout, period. Took all the tax money, bailed them out, everything. Now, let's fast forward to 2016, 17, was it, Doug? 17, maybe 18. GM's thank you to the American people was they shut down, 5 or 6 major plants and moved them to Mexico.
Yeah.
Lordstown being one of them. That might have even been 19. So Lordstown was a huge GM plant. And they shut it down, moved to Mexico. And that's when Trump come down on him?
Yeah.
The CEO of GM, and then he got criticized by the media for coming down on her. Well, it's private industry. Why are you sticking your nose in it? Well, because that private industry took taxpayer money and bailed them out. And this is the thanks they're going to get.
Right.
So it is what it is. Ford never took that bailout money, though. I remember that. Ford made it through it. But still, I mean, all them thousands of vehicles that Greg's talking about at Kentucky Speedway, we're going to end up paying the price when they finally get this straightened out and you have to go buy a new truck. It's going to all be added in, trust me. They're not just going to eat that profit that they would have made. They're going to add it somewhere down the line. So, all right, Doug, what's the next topic?
Well, now we got to start on. Let's just do this, and then we'll start on the schools.
Oh,
So there's a bill that passed in Ohio.
Tammy, if you got a tranquilizer, take it now.
The one isn't too bad. The one for Ohio is not too bad at all. But let's talk about this first. There's a law that was passed, and now your local neighborhood criminal can get set free, or at least have a parole. So if you're under 18, the age of 18, what the law says is you cannot be sentenced to life in prison.
You can't be tried as an adult.
And they were tried as an adult.
Well, you can be tried, but you're not going to gain the same sentence as an adult.
But it's also retroactive. So, and I guess, this is one of the reasons that I was hoping that DJ would come on with us, because I'd really like to hear his thoughts. But here in the town that I live in, which is a town of about 5,000 people, there was a teen that lived next to a lady, and I believe she was deaf. And he broke into her house with a couple of his friends, ransacked the house, stole some stuff, got on the dresser. She was laying in bed, got on the dresser and jumped on her repeatedly till all her ribs were crushed. Set the house on fire, and she burned inside that house. That kid, he was...
How old was he at the time?
16, 17. And his friends was 15, 16 as well. And he was committed to life in prison.
Yes.
Seems like that's okay. Now, with the new law, he's up for parole, and he had his hearing in March. So now he can get out. And the opponents for this law say, well, people 15, 16 years old, they can be rehabilitated. They may have changed. And that's true. But when you take somebody else's life, I can't understand how that is even fair.
Let me ask a question. 16, 17, you commit a major crime like this, they're giving you a mulligan kind of. Why? Because that kid didn't know better? Is that what they're saying?
Pretty much, yeah. That they can be rehabilitated.
But they want them to fucking vote. You see where I'm at with this?
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm at with this? They're responsible enough to vote for our laws, our legislators, and everything else. They're not responsible to drink a beer till they're 21. They're not responsible to buy a gun. No. You can't buy a cigarette either because you're irresponsible. Now we're taking kids that are making decisions at 17 of taking a life and everything else, being tried as an adult, and saying, well, they weren't really that responsible then. They can be, but you know what? They can vote. How fucked up is this? Listen, if you're 17 years old, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing at 16. Taking a life, you know what you're doing.
Right. And I mean, it's so over the top, jumping on the person. This lady was in her late 70s, I believe, and just crushing her. Then burned the house.
Listen, the minute somebody says, help, stop, please stop, you're hurting me, help, and they continue, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. But my whole point of it is
he was, Tammy. And he got life in prison, but no more.
He got life in prison, but now he's going to get out on parole with the new Ohio law. That's what we're saying. This is such fucking bullshit that Doug, I've thought about, we talked about this the other day, and I want you people to think about this for 1 second. We have a gang problem still. I don't give a shit what they say. We have gang problems. We got gang problems in the bigger cities, Cleveland, Toledo, Columbus. Every bigger city's got gang problems. Oh, Mike starts bringing it up.
Yeah.
All right. But here, you're right, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Now, when them kids were 11, 12 years old doing this, getting out when they were 21, now they can take these kids at 15, 16, and these kids are going to be their soldiers. They're soldiers.
See, if it didn't involve another person, like if you stole a car,
He
something
stole a
like
car,
that.
wrecked a car, or something that
Broke into somebody's house.
accidental. What is it? Manslaughter. The
Yeah.
manslaughter charge is something
Right.
you didn't intend. You didn't intend. It happened in something else. You know what I'm saying? I can understand that, but when you get into murder, especially with the circumstances like that, no.
This is Ohio. Ohio.
This is Ohio, Tammy. This isn't federal. This is
Yeah.
Ohio.
Ohio
This is-
passed that, and it's been signed, and it's law.
And then you got an a governor who was an attorney general that might have tried some of these cases, Doug, saying, well, yeah, they're good boys now. I need the votes because they're coming down on me in the first energy shit.
Right. All right.
And that's how stupid, listen, people, that's how stupid he is. He was an attorney general that probably tried some of these cases. It come across his desk, that shit that happened to you down there, Doug. It come across his desk as an attorney general. It went across state attorney general's desk.
Right.
Now he's saying it's okay. But my whole thing is this. This is how stupid they think we are. They didn't have the right frame of mind when they were 16, 17. We got a lot, but they don't have the right frame of mind to drink a beer, buy a gun, or smoke a cigarette. But they got a right frame of mind to vote on our laws, Doug. Stop and think about that. They're voting on our law. They want them at 16 to vote on our laws. They got a brain in their head and can make conscious decisions and know right and wrong to vote. But then they're saying this.
I know.
It's the biggest fucking bunch of hypocrites. I sound like Joe Biden now. I'm so mad. Yeah, bunch of hypocrites. And thinking we're too stupid to realize what they're doing.
All right, you ready for a test question?
Yes.
Okay, now this was out of Missouri High School. Everybody, you can play along on this one. I'm going to read the question. You can answer it. It's actually going to be multiple choice. So this is question number 419 of 1,000. Teresa has heard the news about the fatal shootings of unarmed Black American men by police officers. Got it?
Yeah.
But does not think it's necessarily due to racism. Teresa is most likely a Democrat, a Black woman, a Republican, or a Democrat-leaning woman.
Mark got the answer right.
A Republican? That's what this person chose.
Automatically.
This was a test that was given at Missouri High School for government class.
Reread the question again.
Teresa has heard the news about the fatal shootings of unarmed African American men by police officers, but does not think it is necessarily due to racism. Teresa is most, all capital, most likely a Democrat, a Black woman, a Republican, or a Democrat-leaning woman.
Cal, I agree 100%. What kind of test is this?
It's for government.
Why does that fucking answer? Why is that question even in a government test? I'm going to tell you something. I had lunch today in Hermitage, Pennsylvania. Mother's Day lunch.
Uh-huh.
And there was a woman there that her daughter was married to my nephew, and she's a school teacher in Ohio.
You didn't say anything, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I couldn't help myself. Okay. But she agreed with everything that I said. You aware that, and this is one thing we got into, government class. Why are they teaching, like I brought up, why are they teaching, why would Hillary make a better president than Trump? What's that got? The government should say, this is how the election goes, and this is how your legislators are voted in, Shouldn't say, why would? And she goes, you're absolutely right. And we got into a whole bunch. Remember when I said there's no such thing as an anonymous survey no more? And She goes, I know right where you're going with this. And I said, right. Every kid's got a laptop assigned by the school with an IP address. She goes, yep. When you take an anonymous survey, if something's not on it that they don't like, that IP address can be pulled. Therefore, know who the kid is. And guess who's going to knock on your door? I didn't say that. She did. Children's Services. So, why is this question? You're right, Kel. Why is this question even in this?
So, to defend the school to some degree, this test is brought in to assess government in high school.
Well, so everybody that answered C, okay, you're a Democrat, and everybody that answered the other ones, okay, you're a Republican.
Well, I don't even know what the right answer is to that.
There's no right answer.
Okay.
There is not a right answer to that. All that answer is, all them answers are, and what did they call that when you holy shit, my mind's, you see a group of Mexicans, you're doing racially profiling. You're racially profiling. You're not racially profiling. You're politically profiling. And there's a new word. We told her not to do it, sir. But you're politically profiling. That's a new word. You heard it here on the C&D show. You are politically profiling now. Am I wrong?
No, and they reach out to these places that do testing and curriculums and things like that, and this could have been overlooked. There's 1,000 questions on this exam. But
here's the thing: with questions like that, you're politically profiling that kid.
Well,
okay. Therefore, stop. Hear me out. Therefore, if this kid answers several questions down the line, and it leans, well, it's a Democrat's fault. It's Democrats' fault, or you're politically profiling them, which down the line.
Well, she might have got the question wrong, or he.
The thing there's no right answer though. There's no right answer. It's a matter of opinion, not answer. And stop and think about that. That question has no correct answer. It's a matter of opinion, not fact. Tell me what answer is a matter of opinion.
You're right. And so this is what they call an assessment. So they're assessing how people.
Then it's not a fucking test.
Well,
it's an assessment.
Okay, then it's okay.
If you got an assessment,
on an assessment.
No, I don't believe it is. But
okay,
there's no right answer.
Holt High School in Missouri, if you'd like to look it up. And the school district is investigating this. They have gotten back in contact with the company to find out why that was even on there. So props to the
Cal, this is the other thing I got into it with that teacher. Not into it, she agreed. That's exactly what our schools are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I brought up to her. You give me your position. And I said, and we put the voting age at 16 years old. And a levy's going to pass or fail. And I know I'm getting a $10,000 raise a year if it passes, or I might get laid off if it fails. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do? Right. I'm going to jam in your kid's head. We got to pass this levy. You like how I teach? Yes, Mr. Mize, we love it, man. If you don't pass this levy, I'm not going to be here. It has no place in school. Them kind of questions have no place in school, period. It's not a test. It's not a fact-based question. It's a question. It's an open-end opinion answer. Opinions and facts should be two separate things in a test. It should be all factual answers, or it's not a test. And it's an assessment, then it's an assessment not needed in school because Gail's right. Now you're politically, trying to groom the people. Now you're politically profiling. And it's sad that we got to sit there and say schools are politically profiling. Jesus Christ. Go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Go back to the very beginning of the show. I come on and said we don't own the rights to this music or song. And listen to the song. And it tells you everything of what's going on, Doug.
Yes, it does. You're going to...
Indoctrination. And Mike, that's the exact word. Indoctrination. We're indoctrinating our fucking students all the way down to fucking preschool level.
You're going to lose your mind over this one?
I'm losing my mind now, but I just keep them calm because we're on Twitter for the first Twitter.
We're gonna talk about
Twitter people. I don't normally get up this. I don't normally get upset like this.
We're going to talk about Aunt Flo. Now this is out of Oregon, and they have what's called and I am only the messenger here. They have the Menstrual Dignity Act, which requires schools to place a feminine product thing in the boys' bathroom. Now, before you lose it, here's a picture of it. It's kind of nice. And look, it's free, so I don't have to pay for it.
Why would we have that in the boy? Oh, let me guess.
Now,
in case the girl's identifying as a boy.
Well,
Got a news flash for you, Doug. Boys don't bleed like that. If they're bleeding out their ass or their dick, there's other issues that ain't Aunt Flo.
Now, next to that, they
why are you bleeding there?
They post this is posted next to it so that they know what it is and what they're supposed to do,
how to do it,
and how to do it. And this is now a law in Oregon, and this what? No, it's free.
Jimmy, you're walking funny. Got a tampon shoved up my ass. I started bleeding.
I took a shit and
I popped a hemorrhoid.
Wow.
I can't believe. I can believe it. I can believe it. That this is where we're at with all this stuff that's going on. But why? In a minute, unless you got, and here's what the answer is. Well, Missy over there, she identifies as a boy and therefore wants to use the boys' bathroom, and we have to make all options that's in the women's bathroom into the boys' bathroom now. So how many boys is going to grab one of them, take it home to their mouth? Mom, what tells this?
Right, because this is for
here. Kids. I need that. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Go get me a couple more. Honey, will you go to school tomorrow?
Yeah, when you go to school, could you please lift about 4 of them for me? To cover me. I'll be done in 2 days. I mean, seriously, we're laughing and making jokes, but why do they have tampons and shit in the men's bathroom? And that's why. There's your answer. Because there's some girl going to identify as a male and go into the male's bathroom. And, I don't know. She's pretty good if she can stand and piss in that urinal without sitting down. That's a pretty good trick I'd like to see. So maybe she got a funnel there with a hose. I don't want to act like you guys. I'm going to write my name in the snow.
There's one that you can get with that, I think. Yeah, there's the funnel right there, the third one down.
Yeah, Joe's got it. Joe's got it. Let's put the litter box in there because you're going to have somebody identifying as a fur. Oh my God! You know, I tell you what, I'm not even upset about this question, this deal, because it's nothing that ain't that in the last year. It's nothing that's not. Yeah,
Nothing shocks you anymore. You're coming
nothing
numb to
shocks
it.
me with this. I've become numb to it. That
Right.
you know, and then Lord forbid, as a parent, you go into school and you say, "Hey, why is there tampons in the boys' restroom?" And then you know what you'd be called?
Right.
You'd be called you
Right.
discriminate towards transgender. You know.
So Tammy missed it and then caught on.
Yes, Tammy, in Missouri they have tampons and pads and shit
So
for free.
it's for free, so you can move there and have your kids grab you one if you need one. Importantly, the Menstrual Dignity Act affirms the right to menstrual dignity for transgender, intersex, non-binary, and two-spirit students by addressing the challenges that some students have managing menstruation while minimizing negative attention that could put them at risk of harm and navigating experiences of gender dysphoria during menstruation. That's what they say.
Yeah, look at the free yo-yo I got today. Mom, I found you some tea bags. But you know, you stop and think about this. This is
did when I looked at
there's nobody really over there. You know, if we'd have said this 8 months ago, that side would have lit up. Lit up.
Yeah.
You're all numb to it too. And they're jamming it in our throats to the point where like, man, who gives a fuck? And that's where we're at. Who gives a fuck?
That's what I'm saying is, remember we talked about this all the time where you know we're numb to it. It's just another thing that they're doing, and nobody, you know, it used to be like you said, this would have lit it up, but now,
mark my words. Mark my words. Trust me when I tell you this. They're not going to keep them things full because some of the parents that ain't going to be able to fight this are going to say, and trust me, them things are going to be going home to mom, sister, and everybody else. Dad's probably sitting in the chair saying, thank God I ain't got to run down to the grocery store at 10 o'clock at night because, you know,
right.
Walk up to the cashier, sir, the maxi strength's on sale. If you'd like, just ring the son bitches out.
Hold on, I gotta get a price check.
Yeah, I gotta get tampons on aisle 4.
For this gentleman.
Does anybody have a coupon for the max? The Tampax, heavy flow. You know, and that's what'll happen. That's what'll happen. Julie, you're right. Boys are boys.
But
the next thing you're going to hear is how a school in Missouri harassment's going on because they took some boy that was in the bathroom. The other boys put a bunch of pads on his head and taped them to him, and you know he's walking around school with pads on his heads. You know, a tampon. You know,
I have a headache, so I went and got one of these.
Tampon string sticking out of his back of his ass, out his belt net sticking down. You know. Oh my God! And the problem is nobody thinks ahead that these problems can happen, and they will happen. What I said will happen. I'm telling you, I don't give a shit. Your boys are boys, especially the ones that ain't identifying as girls. Them boys are gonna come up some dumb shit like that, just like we would have when you done that when I was in high school. I guarantee you, somebody had been having a pad on top of their head, you know. Or somebody would walk out like me with a pad wrapped around my nose and stuck, you know, with the little wings flapped out there, you know.
What's wrong?
What are you doing, Miss? I had a bloody nose. This ain't for bloody noses. You know, yeah, you're right. Walk into class and put 2 tampons in their ears. Teacher, what are you doing? I'm tired of hearing you. I mean, this is a world, and go back to the song. This world's fucked up. This world's gone to hell. When you walk into a men's bathroom and there's tampons sitting there, and you know what? We're all doing this as a country. Well, what next?
Right.
You know,
Look-
you really
looking
want to.
into
You
it.
really want to make a difference in that school. I'll tell you the truth. You really want to make a difference in that school. Take that tampon dispenser that they have for free. Put rubbers in it in the men's bathroom. Put rubbers in it. There, you made a difference. Stop and think
And-
about that.
and
You're all
in the
laughing,
girls.
but you made a difference. You know,
And in the
you've made a
girls.
difference. You might have prevented a pregnancy.
And in the girls' restroom.
But I'd be the asshole to take a real fine pin and go, yeah, they're good.
Jeez.
But, you know, it is what it is.
In Ohio, in 2023, it will be a requirement that your kids learn self-defense, taught by a teacher who,
That was brought up today.
yeah,
That was brought up. I'm not against that law.
I'm not either. I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great law. I really do. And what was brought up today too was about the bill that DJ sweared about finances, basic financing, checkbook stuff.
Yeah.
Remember that passed? She
Yeah.
brought that up, but she
Yes.
brought up something that we've all talked about. They need to get shops back in. They need to get trades more back into the schools, you know. And I guess she said they're starting to. I don't know.
All right. Here's a trivia question before we go. Do you know what anybody know what Hunter Biden's laptop password was?
Please, more crack. I don't know what.
You're close. Close.
Crack?
Anybody know?
No.
Joe Gibbons, you're gonna flip out when I say this. Anal fuck 69.
That was his password?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. And when the
Oh, Joe, his wife's probably dancing. Yes, don't say fuck again.
so
Anal fuck 69.
yes.
Is that what that big hoop though was and it wasn't announced on the news?
Well, so that's his password to get in. And when the guy asked him, that Hunter Biden came in, he'd been drinking, so he was all slurred speech and stuff, so he couldn't really understand.
Didn't know.
And he goes,
Where's
hey,
my daddy's lawyers?
don't be offended, but it's anal fuck 69. And the guy put it in and opened it up. Then when he started transferring files, he found all this porn on there. And
Let me
you
guess,
know,
there's child porn.
they just said porn.
Let me tell you guys something.
That's mainstream
And
media.
honestly, if you watch RedTube, Pornhub, all that shit, there is some cases about ready to go to court, Doug, of actual, some of them videos got people under the age of 18 now. So if you're watching RedTube and Pornhub, you better quit watching for a while. That's a fact. Look it up. What?
You need to quit yelling.
I'm not yelling.
It's summertime and the kids
Was I
are out.
yelling?
I don't think so. I don't know. I have volume. I can turn you up and down.
I wasn't yelling.
Did the neighbors call?
No,
Yeah.
the executive producer going.
When you said anal fuck 69.
Oh, I might have said that pretty loud.
Yeah, there's kids.
The neighbors did to come over. I don't know what's going on it. I don't know what's going on in this house. But here, stop and think of this. Pornhub, RedTube are the two main ones that are under investigation right now because of that. So if you're watching that at home or on your, man, you know, that can almost be construed because even though they say, you know, they're finding out that there's 17-year-olds and stuff in there, but you know, they're not allowed to do anything like that, but they can vote, Doug.
Right.
You know, It is what it is. You got a right to watch porn all you want, Tammy. And not you personally. I'm just saying a person in general's got a right to watch all the porn they want. There's no censorship on that. But when you get under the age of 18, then there should be. Point blank fact. Then it becomes a whole nother deal. And that's where you get into the child trafficking, child porn. I mean, Doug, hey, I don't watch none of that shit.
Right.
Pornhub, RedTube, you don't see that much shit.
It's because you delete it.
What's that?
You can't delete shit out. People think, I deleted it off. There's a hard drive in your computer that it don't delete out.
She knows that. That's why she said.
Well, I'm just saying, but regardless, I can't believe that we got tampons in men's bathrooms now.
Yes, in Oregon.
In Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be in Ohio soon. All right, what else? We done?
That's it, yeah. Mom, stick around and we'll have
some
recap
this.
to you.
Recap this real quick. Mike DeWine is under fire for the Holzhauser thing with First Energy. Mike DeWine met with some people, okayed the Clean Air Act. When the investigation blew up out of the water with the whole First Energy deal and Davis Bessie, Mike DeWine then repealed that Clean Air Act.
Right.
Was subpoenaed to turn in his documents from a court, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That he wouldn't turn over. Turned over the documents, but edited a bunch of shit out of the documents.
Redacted, yep.
Then we have tests now that are being in government class tests that basically ask what. No, it's a test, you said.
Assessment.
Okay, why is it in government class? There should be no assessments in government class.
Because they want to see how people react
to
these.
We have assessments in government classes starting to come out in high school through the United States that basically are politically profiling.
Right.
No other way to look at that.
Right.
And now we have tampons and the pads with the wings.
All different types. Mm-hmm.
Make sure you get the wing one. Honey, don't buy them ones. Don't steal the one with without the wings. I got to wrap them around so they stay put.
Right.
Revert back to the song at the beginning of the show, people, and you see why there's some songs we're going to play. Everything that guy says is pretty much what we covered tonight, Doug.
Yep.
Except, burning the flag. He's got another one about to burn the flag. You got the right to burn the flag. I got the right to kick your ass, which maybe we'll play next week. Other than that, hope y'all had a happy Mother's Day, you ladies out there, and some of you guys. I hope none of you guys that are watching the show identify as ladies, but if you do, happy Mother's Day.
We're mothers at that.
Don't want to leave you out, but then we'll be against transgender and we'll get red flag. Want to welcome Twitter. Thank God, Doug. Mm-hmm. We get kicked off 2 of them, but we'll still be on one of them.
Right.
So you over there on the right, if you ain't got a Twitter account, you might want to start thinking about getting one, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get knocked because of Obama's speech, what he's trying to push through with Facebook and mainstream media and social media. Other than that, have a good night. Anything, Doug?
No.
God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the song.
See ya.
She's loving and caring, devoted and she's kind. She helps me with decisions when I can't make up my mind. Unselfish and considerate. She really is the bomb, and I love her 'cause she's my mom. Sometimes she gets angry when my room is a mess. She hears from my teacher that I'm not doing my best. She really is the bomb, and I love her 'cause she's teacher, the maid,